because, you know, I ain't got enough rest though. But with that being said, I want to talk about the Terence Crawford and Errol Spence webinar press conference. And I listened to both of them talk, and I listened to the whole press conference in its entirety. And of course, I was part of the webinar, and of course, they didn't get to me because I had a good question that I was going to ask Errol Spence. I had a great question for Terence Crawford, and of course, they didn't get to me because, as usual, the other media people were basically taking up a lot of the airtime. And this is what pisses me off about these webinars. They ask us to participate, they ask us to come on there, and then when we participate, we don't get to ask a question because they sitting up letting these other dudes ask 2 and 3 questions. My thing should be everybody should get one damn question in and then bounce, because everybody should be able to get a question in. You know, they need to be more organized with that. And that's what be pissing me off. I participate in these things. I stay up and, you know, I try to see, can I get a question to where I can basically relate to my followers and to the people that support my channel and subscribe to my channel. And then, of course, the other guys, they take up all the airtime and take up all of the time on the webinar, asking 8 questions, asking 2 and 3 questions, taking up five minutes of, you know, the webinar time. And that's not fair to everybody else. And the people that's organizing it, they need to be fair to all the media people. You know, if they got 20 minutes to spare for a question, and then, hey, I don't care who they is, you get one question in, they answer, and then it's on to the next. But, you know, that's the pros and cons of when you do this kind of stuff, and that's the frustration that kicks in. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you got to just keep pushing. Now, one of the things that I did like about you know, the press conference, you know, when they talked to Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence, they said something that was very important. Now, don't listen to any of these cornballs that's going to sit up there and try to say, oh, well, you know, as far as who won, nobody won. Okay? Nobody won. Because once again, that's what you call narrative pushing and agenda pushing. Because at the end of the day, people going to try to hate on Terence Crawford no matter what. But I did like the fact that both of them spoke on the situation about, hey, we're not going to sit up here and trade insults and tear each other down and put on a minstrel show. You know, what's up? Nah, he not going to get fined. But, you know, at the end of the day, them the type of games they play, you know, saying we not going to talk about Shakur and all that kind of stuff. I just think that's just really ridiculous. You know, not to mention fighters that's not fighting on a PBC card or vice versa. I just think that's really ignorant. Like, they got to stop treating this stuff like gang fair and stuff, because at the end of the day, it's just lame at the end of the day. So, you know, and I'm glad Buzz stepped in and said Shakur. Now, they seem to be issue with the WBO. On a side note, that Devin Haney was denied basically a 24-hour extension by the WBO on whether he wanted to make a formal offer or basically try to negotiate for the vacant WBO. So if he doesn't respond, then they're going to allow Jose Ramirez and Barboza basically to start negotiating for basically that title. And if they don't hear from Tiafimo, they're going to assume that he is retired. So basically they will basically strip him of the belt, or basically that, you know, say that he vacated. So just wanted to give you guys a side note. The Regis thing is still ongoing. So, you know, we'll see what's up. But nevertheless, one of the things I did appreciate about them saying, hey, no, we're not going to do what Floyd Mayweather did. We're not going to cuss each other out and push each other and all this kind of stuff and, you know, put on a minstrel show to get people to watch the fight. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm proud of both of them for bringing that up, because If you are not black and you see black people in that perspective where you think black people have to clown around and you know act kind of goofy, then the problem is with you, you know. But you can't win for losing. You already know if you act like, if you conduct yourself like a gentleman, you're called boring and all that kind of stuff. And then if you act like Floyd Mayweather, you're called annoying and nobody wants to see that. But then at the same time, obviously they do, because when you do see that, they give you the urge to order that fight and you end up calling yourself, well, I bought the fight because I want to see him lose. So at the end of the day, you still got played, because at the end of the day, Floyd Mayweather was winning. Whether you bought the fight to see him lose, he got your money. But that's always been the perspective. You know, when you are black and you conduct yourself in a gentleman-like manner, you're either considered boring or by some, you're considered weak. So like I said, I thought that was very important that they addressed that. So kudos to both of them. Like I said before, this could also set the tone, and this could set an example that you don't have to have a screaming match. You don't have to sit up there and push somebody and all this kind of stuff and talk about people's mother and say, I slept with your wife and all that kind of stuff. And, I used to trap in your neighborhood and I used to use the same, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. And I used to get my supplies from Yo Plug, and I'm just so happy that they addressed that. And they said that they wasn't gonna take part in that, because that's a good thing. This is leading by example, and you can set the tone. Because at the end of the day, to a certain degree, 30 years down the line, when Floyd is, to the point to where basically he's just not in the media anymore. People gonna look at some of this old footage of Floyd and how Floyd conducted himself, and people gonna say, dang, this dude was in his 30s doing this stuff, late 30s, mid 30s, 40s. So I hope that Floyd understands that what he's doing now in his, I think Floyd is 46 now. Floyd is like in his, mid 40s now. I think Floyd need to get to the point to where he needs to understand that now he has to mature a little bit. So I just wanted to get that out there, and I just wanted to give my point of view on what I saw at the press conference. So shout out to both of them. Shout out to both of them. Both of them did the basics. They just talked about what they need to do to win and what they expect is going to happen, July 29th. So there you have it. Anyway, appreciate you guys tapping in. It's your boy Town Biz. I am out.